Hey guys, hope everyone's okay today. We thought we would show you what we're making for lunch today. We tend to eat a more of a dinner size lunch just because of our time constraints, but if you're looking for a meal idea, this might give you something. So I am making a plant-based bolognese, if you like. So I've already got spaghetti on here. We just have traditional whole wheat spaghetti cooking on here. Got all of our vegetables ready to go. So obviously portion out your spaghetti for how many people are going to be eating with you. You can get those spoons that have the holes in there, or you can measure it out in grams as to what a serving is from the packet. So what I've got is a whole yellow bell pepper that I'm just going to dice up. I've got a few carrots that I'm going to grate into the dish because they will give it nice flavour. Got some sweet corn, chopped tomatoes, mushrooms, baby leaf spinach that we'll wilt in at the end, and of course trusty garlic, and there's already some red onion just cooking over there as well. What I like to do, and this is just personal preference, is just dice up pretty much all of the ingredients apart from the mushrooms and the spinach. I like to leave the mushrooms a little bit chunkier because they do have quite a meaty kind of texture, just adds a bit of volume to the food. And the spinach you just pop on last and leave it to wilt a little bit, and that's kind of how you know that it is ready. The reason I add so many different vegetables in here is obviously you want that variety of vegetable to give you all the different benefits of all of them. They all can offer different things, like the yellow pepper is high in vitamin C, so that's great obviously for all-round health. You've got your carrots as well, we know that they're all very good for us. Spinach is high in iron and all those types of things. And mushrooms are also a really great one. It's good to get in different types of mushroom into your diet. So we've also got some vegan sausages here. They're just the Linda McCartney rosemary and onion sausages. I always find them add a really nice flavour to like a spaghetti bolognese or a tomato pasta. And if you are missing maybe a little bit more of a protein source, maybe you want to change it up from beans or lentils, it's another alternative that you can use. I would say have no more than 1 to 2 sausages per person. So if you're having it with a few people, then obviously pop in a few sausages. But I'm just adding the pepper to that now. And all I do is just wait until, once I've added each of the vegetables, they're a little bit soft and sort of like the carrot is wilted, spinach is wilted, to know when it's ready to go. Because essentially any of these ingredients, you know, they're not going to be undercooked or overcooked too much. You know, you can't go too wrong with this. The only thing you want to make sure is really cooked would be things like beans and obviously the sausage that we have in there. Grating is a very good way to get stuff into dishes if you've got fussy eaters. So I always add the carrots either in first or second because they take a little bit longer to cook. But once it's grated, just chuck that on the top and then replace the lid. And then the mushrooms next. So next I'm going to add in some chopped tomatoes. This particular one is only about 36 calories for the whole jar, so you imagine if you're spreading that between 3 or 4 people, it's very, very low in calories, as are all of these other ingredients. The most calorie dense part of this meal is going to be pasta, and also if you were to add in things like the vegan sausages, they have a little bit more, but they are high in protein, so it's not a bad amount of calories. So I just like to add a nice big handful of spinach to the top, and I literally pop it straight in the middle, and then when I stick the lid back on, that will just wilt itself down with the condensation. There's no sort of amount to the spinach, you know, as you know it's very low in calorie, and it will just kind of soften down. If you wanted to make this even more nutritionally packed and maybe a little bit lower in calories, you could always switch out your traditional pasta for like a vegetable spaghetti. So like you've maybe heard of courgette, or you can get sweet potato noodles, things like that. If you wanted to swap it out, or if you maybe want to eat gluten-free, that type of stuff, if you know it upsets your stomach, that's another alternative that you can also have. Those types of things take a lot less time to cook as well, so just be aware of that if you are choosing to do that. Last thing we've got to do is just crush some garlic, and then that's pretty much good to just sort of sit for 10 minutes or so. I'd say it's probably about a half an hour prep and cook time roughly, depending on how slow you are with your prep side of things. Crushing the garlic, crushing the garlic. The reason why we go for crushed garlic versus chopped is because it releases enzymes and you get the full benefit of the garlic. It's also best to leave it in till last, so it's the least cooked in the dish. Last little bit that we're going to add is a little bit of pasta sauce, a little bit of cheat if you're making everything from scratch, but we're all busy people and we've got things to get on with, so there's no harm in a little jar here and there. So we've just gone for a basic onion and garlic sauce. It's about 59 calories for a quarter of a jar. There's half in here between the three of us. Again, it's very, very low, and we're going to add a little bit of water to it just to spread it out and the remnants of the juice from the chopped tomatoes. So just add that on top. Stir it in and you're good to go. So this is a meal that you could freeze the bolognese part of it, and it will keep for a long time. Even if you had it just in the fridge, it will keep for a few days pretty good. The only thing that is obviously going to go off to be things like the vegetables, but you'll know about that because they won't smell so great. But like I say, it's a great one that you could make and freeze portions of, so that if you are in a rush throughout the week, you're not going to have to worry about what you've got to cook. You can just unfreeze it and away you go. So because this is the biggest meal of our day, it is the most calorie dense, and we do have the largest portion size. For you guys that maybe this is your main meal but you're having smoothies alongside it, obviously reduce the portion size, have a smaller bowl if it's just going to be one of your 3 meals a day. We ordinarily only have 2 meals. So you can obviously have a smaller portion and spread it out further throughout the week. You could probably get, double the amount of meals from this. Like I say, it keeps very well. So hopefully you found that helpful, guys. If you make it, let us know what you thought. You can obviously change up the vegetables to whichever ones you have in your fridge ready to go. Enjoy.